Listen with expectation and courage. There are moments in life when change does not come by force, persuasion, or human effort, but by divine decision. When God opens a door, no opposition can shut it. When He moves, no delay can cancel it. What you have been praying for, believing for, and quietly preparing for is closer than you think. This is not a season of endings, it is a season of openings. Get ready, because God is opening doors no one can close. There are moments in life when effort reaches its limit and striving produces no movement. You can plan carefully, work tirelessly, and push relentlessly, yet still find yourself standing before a closed door. These moments reveal a powerful truth. Not every door responds to human strength. Some doors exist beyond effort, beyond influence, and beyond strategy. They are not unlocked by persistence alone, but by divine authority. Human effort is valuable, but it has boundaries. It can build skills, create discipline, and develop character, yet it cannot control timing, hearts, or alignment. There are opportunities that cannot be negotiated, forced, or earned through labor. These doors open only when the right moment arrives and the right permission is given. When they open, they do so effortlessly, often after long seasons of struggle. Many people exhaust themselves trying to force doors that were never meant to open. They mistake resistance for a challenge rather than a signal. Pushing against the wrong door drains energy and delays progress. When God closes a door, it is often an act of protection. What looks like rejection may actually be redirection away from harm, limitation, or misalignment. Doors opened by God do not depend on credentials alone. They are not controlled by background, status, or past failure. These openings operate by purpose rather than performance. They override human opinion and cancel disqualification. When God opens a door, approval is already settled before the step is taken. Human effort seeks control, but divine openings require trust. Trust develops when effort is surrendered to obedience. This does not eliminate responsibility, it reorders it. Preparation still matters, but it becomes alignment rather than striving. Work becomes faithful rather than frantic. Doors opened by God often appear suddenly. What was impossible for years becomes accessible in a moment. One conversation changes direction. One opportunity accelerates progress. One connection shifts perspective. These moments are not accidents. They are the result of timing coming into agreement with readiness. Such doors often open in ways that cannot be explained logically. They defy expectation and bypass normal process. This does not diminish preparation, it confirms it. What was developed quietly now has space to function openly. Divine openings reveal that effort was shaping capacity, not creating opportunity. When God opens a door, resistance may still appear, but it cannot reverse the opening. Opposition may challenge confidence, but it cannot cancel assignment. These doors are sustained by authority rather than approval. They remain open despite criticism, doubt, or delay. Human effort often seeks validation, but divine openings remove the need for explanation. The opportunity speaks for itself. No defense is required when alignment is evident. What was once questioned becomes established through action rather than argument. There is also humility in recognizing doors that only God can open. It removes pride and replaces it with gratitude. It acknowledges that progress is not self-generated. This awareness protects character when elevation arrives and keeps the heart grounded when momentum increases. Divine doors often require courage rather than effort. Walking through them demands faith more than force. Fear often waits at the threshold, questioning worthiness and readiness. Courage responds by stepping forward despite uncertainty. Some doors open quietly without announcement. Others open dramatically, shifting visibility and responsibility. Both require obedience. Missing an open door often happens not because it was unseen, but because it was unentered. Human effort prepares the feet, but divine authority clears the path. When alignment is complete, movement becomes natural rather than forced. Momentum replaces strain. What once felt heavy begins to flow. Doors opened by God carry purpose beyond personal gain. They impact others, create influence, and extend responsibility. Preparation ensures that the opening does not overwhelm the one who enters. Trusting divine openings also means releasing bitterness from closed doors. Those closures shape discernment, endurance, and humility. Carrying resentment blocks readiness. Releasing it creates space for movement. Human effort works within systems. Divine openings transcend them. When the time comes, what was inaccessible becomes unavoidable. The door opens not because of pressure applied from outside, but because authority has spoken from above. Closed doors are rarely understood in the moment they appear. They feel like rejection, failure, or loss, especially when effort has been invested and hope has been attached. The disappointment can be heavy, and the questions can feel endless. Yet many closed doors are not punishments or denials, but acts of protection and seasons of preparation working together beneath the surface. Protection often comes disguised as disappointment. A closed door can prevent entry into situations that would have caused harm, limitation, or long-term regret. What looks like an opportunity may have carried consequences that were unseen at the time. Closure shields from paths that do not align with purpose, even when they seem attractive or promising. Preparation is often uncomfortable. When doors remain closed, growth is forced inward rather than outward. Skills are sharpened, patience is tested, and character is refined. Without movement, attention turns to internal development. These seasons build strength that cannot be rushed, ensuring readiness for future responsibility. Closed doors expose their motives. When progress is halted, it becomes clear whether effort was driven by purpose or by desire for recognition. Preparation seasons strip away ego and entitlement. They reveal whether commitment is rooted in calling or convenience. Protection also involves timing. Entering too early can be as damaging as entering too late. Closed doors hold progress until maturity catches up with opportunity. They prevent advancement that would overwhelm rather than elevate. Timing ensures sustainability rather than burnout. In closed seasons, perspective shifts. What once seemed essential may lose its appeal, and what was overlooked may gain importance. This clarity helps refine direction. Preparation aligns desire with destiny by removing distractions and misalignment. Closed doors also teach discernment. They sharpen the ability to recognize alignment. Rather than chase every opportunity, discernment develops through experience, especially through disappointment. Each closed door adds wisdom that informs future decisions. Protection does not always feel gentle. Sometimes it feels abrupt or confusing. Yet protection does not require explanation to be effective. Understanding often comes later, after growth has occurred and hindsight provides clarity. Preparation during closed seasons is often quiet and unseen. Progress may not be visible, but capacity is expanding. Strength is being built beneath the surface, much like roots growing before branches emerge. What is unseen determines what can later be sustained. Closed doors create space for redirection. They force reconsideration and recalibration. What once felt like the only path is revealed as one of many. Redirection broadens possibility and prevents fixation on limited outcomes. Protection also preserves integrity. Entering the wrong door can compromise values and erode character. Closure prevents compromise by limiting access to environments that would require sacrifice of principle. Preparation strengthens resilience. Waiting develops endurance, and endurance builds confidence. Confidence grounded in resilience remains stable under pressure. These qualities become essential when future doors open with increased responsibility. Closed doors teach patience. Patience is not passive waiting, but active trust. It requires faithfulness without immediate reward. This discipline strengthens commitment and guards against impulsive decisions. Protection through closure also guards against comparison. When movement is paused, attention turns inward rather than outward. This inward focus encourages self-improvement rather than competition. Preparation seasons often feel isolated, but isolation creates focus. Without constant movement, priorities become clearer. Focus allows refinement and removes unnecessary noise. Closed doors often precede greater openings. They create contrast that makes new opportunities more recognizable. Without closure, progression would lack clarity. Protection ensures that when the right door opens, it does not bring harm. Preparation ensures that when it opens, it can be enter. Confidently. What was once resisted becomes appreciated with understanding. As closed doors quietly shape readiness and alignment for what lies ahead, preparation is the unseen work that quietly determines how one responds when opportunity appears. Divine openings rarely occur without prior shaping, because access without readiness creates imbalance. Before doors open externally, capacity must be built internally. Preparation ensures that what is received can be sustained, stewarded, and multiplied, rather than mishandled or lost. Preparation begins long before recognition. It takes place in ordinary days filled with repetition, discipline, and consistency. These moments often feel insignificant, yet they form habits that later support responsibility. What is practiced daily becomes instinctive under pressure, making preparation essential for stability when momentum increases. Divine openings often bring sudden change. Without preparation, sudden access becomes overwhelming. Preparation creates familiarity with effort, structure, and accountability. It trains the mind to handle transition without panic. What feels like waiting is often training in patience and endurance. Preparation also refines character. Integrity is tested when outcomes are delayed. Faithfulness without reward shapes honesty, humility, and perseverance. These traits protect opportunity when it arrives. Without character, access can amplify weakness rather than purpose. In preparation seasons, motives are clarified. Waiting reveals whether desire is rooted in calling or in ego. This clarity prevents misuse of opportunity. Preparation aligns intention with responsibility, ensuring that access serves purpose rather than personal validation. Preparation sharpens skill. Competence is built through repetition, correction, and learning. Divine openings often require readiness beyond belief. Skill supports execution, and execution determines effectiveness. Preparation transforms potential into ability. Preparation also cultivates discernment. Exposure to challenge refines judgment. Discernment allows recognition of the right door at the right time. Without preparation, opportunities can be misread or mishandled. Discernment protects alignment. In seasons of preparation, focus is strengthened. Distractions lose influence as priorities become clear. Focus directs energy toward growth rather than noise. This concentration builds momentum internally before movement occurs externally. Preparation requires humility. Learning demands openness. Correction demands teachability. Humility allows growth to continue without resistance. Without humility, preparation stalls and readiness is delayed. Divine openings often follow obedience. Preparation is not passive, it requires active engagement. Effort applied consistently builds readiness. Obedience aligns action with expectation. Preparation ensures that belief is supported by behavior. Preparation also builds resilience. Challenges encountered before access strengthen endurance. Resilience allows stability when pressure increases. Without resilience, advancement becomes fragile. Preparation equips individuals to withstand opposition and responsibility. In preparation seasons, identity is shaped independently of position. Self-worth becomes rooted in purpose rather than title. This stability protects emotional health when visibility increases. Preparation prevents identity from being overwhelmed by role. Preparation develops trustworthiness. Reliability is proven through consistency over time. Trust attracts opportunity. Divine openings often come through trust established long before access is needed. Preparation teaches stewardship. Responsibility is learned gradually. Stewardship ensures that what is received is
managed with care.
Divine openings often carry impact beyond personal benefit. Preparation equips individuals to handle influence responsibly. Preparation may feel slow, but it is never stagnant. Growth occurs beneath the surface. Capacity expands even when progress appears limited. Preparation ensures that when doors open, movement is confident rather than hesitant. Divine openings reveal preparation rather than replace it. Access exposes what has already been built. The strength to enter comes from what was developed before the door appeared. One open door has the power to redirect an entire life. It can alter direction, reshape perspective, and accelerate progress in ways that years of effort could not achieve. Moments like these often arrive quietly, yet their impact echoes far beyond the moment itself. What appears to be a simple opportunity can become the turning point that redefines purpose and possibility. Many lives remain unchanged, not because potential is lacking, but because the right door has not yet opened. Effort may be constant, discipline may be present, and faith may remain steady, yet advancement waits for access. When the right door opens, movement becomes natural rather than forced. What once required strain begins to flow. An open door often reveals that preparation was not wasted. Skills developed in obscurity suddenly find relevance. Lessons learned through delay become tools for navigation. The door does not create ability, it reveals it. What was cultivated quietly now has space to function openly. One open door can shift identity. It moves a person from waiting to doing, from hoping to acting. Perspective changes as responsibility increases. What once felt distant becomes immediate. The mind adjusts to new expectations, and confidence grows through action rather than imagination. Such doors rarely open without purpose. They connect EF. Forward to outcome, preparation to opportunity. The opening aligns timing with readiness. Without this alignment, access would overwhelm rather than elevate. When timing is right, growth becomes sustainable. An open door often challenges comfort. It requires movement into unfamiliar territory. Familiar routines may no longer apply. This discomfort signals expansion rather than danger. Growth demands adaptation, and adaptation strengthens capacity. One open door can introduce new relationships. Connections formed in these moments can influence direction, provide insight, and expand reach. Relationships are often catalysts for transformation. Through them, knowledge is shared, perspective is broadened, and opportunity multiplies. An open door can also restore momentum. Stagnation gives way to progress. Energy returns as purpose becomes tangible. Motivation shifts from hope to action. The psychological impact of movement fuels further growth. One open door can validate faith. It confirms that waiting had meaning and preparation had purpose. Doubt loses influence as evidence replaces uncertainty. Confidence strengthens through experience rather than expectation. An open door can reposition influence. Visibility increases, and with it comes responsibility. Influence expands beyond personal goals to impact others. This expansion requires maturity shaped by preparation. Influence without foundation creates instability, but preparation supports growth. Such doors can redefine boundaries. Limitations once accepted are challenged. Perspective widens as possibilities expand. What seemed unreachable becomes accessible. This shift encourages bolder vision and deeper commitment. An open door often reveals the cost of readiness. Responsibility replaces convenience. Discipline becomes essential. Freedom expands, but so does accountability. These costs are not burdens, they are investments in sustainability. One open door can also inspire others. Witnessing progress encourages belief. Example becomes influence. Progress creates momentum beyond the individual, affecting communities and environments. The impact of one open door often extends beyond immediate benefit. It creates pathways for future openings. Momentum builds as trust is established. Each successful step prepares for the next level of access. An open door can transform perspective on past closed doors. What once felt like loss becomes understanding. The contrast clarifies purpose. Gratitude replaces regret as alignment becomes evident. The power of one open door lies not only in what it provides, but in what it unlocks internally. Confidence, clarity, and courage grow through action. The door opens outward, but the transformation occurs within. Open doors do not eliminate fear, they often reveal it. Opportunity brings exposure, responsibility, and uncertainty, all of which challenge comfort. Courage becomes the bridge between access and action. Without courage, an open door remains unused, its potential unrealized despite availability. Fear often appears at the moment of transition. It questions readiness, worth, and outcome. Even when preparation is present, fear attempts to magnify risk. Courage does not silence fear. It moves forward despite it. Action becomes the answer to uncertainty. Walking through an open door requires leaving what is familiar. Familiarity offers safety, even when it limits growth. Courage requires release of comfort in exchange for potential. This exchange is rarely easy. It demands trust in purpose rather than security. Open doors often lead to unfamiliar environments. New expectations, standards, and challenges emerge. Courage adapts rather than retreats. It learns quickly and responds intentionally. Adaptation becomes evidence of readiness. Cow. Rage also involves accepting visibility. With opportunity comes attention. Attention invites scrutiny. Scrutiny tests confidence. Courage allows presence without defensiveness. It stands firm without requiring validation. Open doors sometimes require immediate response. Hesitation can cause missed opportunity. Courage acts decisively. It trusts preparation and responds when timing aligns. Delay fueled by fear can close doors that were momentarily open. Courage challenges self-doubt. Past failures often resurface when opportunity appears. Memories of disappointment attempt to limit expectation. Courage acknowledges history without being defined by it. Growth requires redefining identity beyond past outcomes. Walking through open doors often means embracing responsibility. Opportunity is not only access, it is obligation. Courage accepts accountability. It understands that growth demands ownership. Responsibility transforms opportunity into progress. Courage also protects alignment. Not every open door is meant to be entered, but when alignment is clear, courage confirms direction. Discernment identifies the door. Courage enables movement. Open doors can disrupt routine. Schedules shift. Priorities adjust. Courage reorganizes life around purpose. This restructuring ensures sustainability rather than imbalance. Courage invites learning. Entering new spaces reveals gaps in knowledge. Courage remains teachable. It learns without insecurity. Growth accelerates through openness. Fear often exaggerates consequences. Courage responds with perspective. It recognizes that stagnation carries its own cost. Growth requires risk, but avoidance guarantees limitation. Walking through open doors requires perseverance. Initial excitement may fade as challenges emerge. Courage sustains commitment beyond emotion. It continues when novelty disappears. Courage is strengthened through action. Each step builds confidence. Momentum grows through experience. What once felt overwhelming becomes manageable. Open doors often redefine identity. New roles demand new standards. Courage embraces transformation. It allows identity to expand rather than resist change. Courage also requires humility. Entering new territory acknowledges dependence on learning and guidance. Humility keeps growth grounded. It prevents arrogance from undermining progress. Open doors can reveal opposition. Resistance often accompanies advancement. Courage remains steady. It does not retreat at the first challenge. It persists with clarity. Walking through open doors is rarely comfortable, but it is transformative. Courage turns access into experience. Experience builds capacity. Capacity sustains advancement. Courage ensures that opportunity is not wasted. It bridges preparation and fulfillment. Without courage, open doors remain symbolic. With courage, they become pathways to purpose. Effort is often celebrated as the ultimate measure of success, yet effort without alignment leads to exhaustion rather than progress. Many work tirelessly, applying energy and discipline, only to remain stuck or unfulfilled. This is not always due to lack of commitment, but because effort alone cannot compensate for misdirection. Alignment determines whether effort produces movement or merely activity. Alignment refers to the harmony between purpose, timing, and action. When these elements agree, progress becomes sustainable. When they conflict, even the strongest effort struggles to yield results. Effort pushes, but alignment positions. Positioning allows movement with less resistance. Misaligned effort often feels heavy. Progress requires constant force. Motivation fluctuates and results remain inconsistent. Alignment, however, brings clarity. Actions feel intentional rather than reactive. Energy is directed rather than scattered. Alignment also clarifies priorities. When purpose is clear, Unnecessary distractions lose influence. Focus sharpens naturally. Effort becomes efficient because it serves a defined direction. Without alignment, effort is wasted on competing demands. Timing plays a critical role in alignment. Even the right action at the wrong time creates frustration. Alignment respects timing rather than forcing outcome. Patience becomes part of strategy rather than an obstacle. Alignment transforms discipline into consistency. Discipline driven by fear or comparison fades quickly. Discipline rooted in purpose endures. Alignment sustains commitment beyond emotion. Effort seeks immediate reward, but alignment seeks long-term impact. When effort is disconnected from alignment, disappointment follows unmet expectations. Alignment tempers expectation with understanding. It values progress over speed. Alignment also influences decision-making. Choices become clearer when guided by purpose. Effort alone can lead to impulsive action. Alignment filters opportunity, preventing distraction by attractive but misdirected options. When alignment is present, doors open naturally. Resistance decreases. Support appears unexpectedly. Effort becomes cooperative rather than combative. Progress flows instead of forcing its way through obstacles. Alignment also protects from burnout. Misaligned effort drains emotional and physical energy. Alignment restores balance by ensuring that energy invested produces meaningful return. Effort can impress,